Hello everybody, Martin here, back with round 2 of this Legacy League, playing Ad Nauseam Tendrils, testing the Daze build. We won round 1 against the mirror match, the literal mirror match with Dazes also, and we're on the play again here in match 2 in round 2, so that's pretty cool. This is a solid hand, I think, so let's go ahead and keep that. If we're up against like Eldrazi, then the Cabal Rituals and the Empty the Warrens play around like Chalice for 1 kind of nicely. I think the goal of this hand, like straight off the bat, is to ponder into either a Dark Ritual or a Lotus Petal and then set up a turn 2 Empty the Warrens. And then we can sort of calibrate accordingly depending on what our opponent does on turn 1. There's another world where we were supposed to keep up Brainstorm. But I'd rather be progressive here, or proactive, I suppose. So the only question is, do we fetch around basic, fetch around Wastelands by fetching out basics? We can totally do that. It does limit us a little bit on the combo turn, as we will have Island Swamp. But I still think that's probably correct. Oops. To fetch around the Wastelands. We don't want to get wasted. We have a perfectly good hand to play around Wasteland. Woo! Well, double petal means more storm. So let's keep this and hope it's good enough. Unfortunately, if we really have to fade a probe, I think, because a probe here is bad. Let's them know what they're up against. Okay, Deathrite Shaman makes me happy about the Empty the Warrens plan. So, I mean, let's try and... There's a couple of things we can do here. The clutch here is to get the first Cabal Ritual to resolve. So, if they're sitting on Daze and we play out Delta Petal and then Cabal Ritual, then they can't profitably Daze. They might still do it thinking that we need the Lotus Pill for red mana, but we don't since we have a second one. If they have Force, what are they more likely to do? Force a Cabal Ritual if we just play it. Yeah, I don't know. Like the straight up thing would be to play out the land, play out 1 petal, cast Cabal Ritual. I think that's if they have Force, that's the line that at least makes them, likely to force it. The other way, the cheeky play would be to not play a land right now and cast Brainstorm. If they have Daze, then likely they Daze then. But if they then also have Force, then it's almost guaranteed that they will then force a Ritual, because then it'll become apparent that the Brainstorm was the bait spell. I also feel like probably, if they don't have any way to interact with us, we'll get to cast the Brainstorm for Storm anyway. It'll just be after the fetch land is sacked. So, and we're assuming that the Warren's plan is going to be good enough. If it's Shardless Bug, they might have a way to beat this. It's not impossible. If it's not Shardless Bug, if it's like Grixis Delver or Bug Delver, I feel pretty confident, but we'll see. Pardon me. Wow, thinking hard on the pedal would be super hardcore if they were to force that. All right, well, let's see. If they have the Force, then this is where they need to use it. And I think there are several reasons for that. We could also be sitting on like a discard spell. Although if we were, we'd probably use the pedal to cast it, or like use the swamp to cast the discard spell first to see if the way was clear before playing out here. All right, well, that is resolved. Let's quickly play the Cabal Ritual to not seem suspicious. Beautiful. All right, well, let's play out the pedal. Let's cast Brainstorm. Hope we find a discard spell. We don't. So let's put back Tarn Brainstorm. And let's make 12 goblins. And let's hope that's enough. So let's say, like, sweeper effects aside, what's the... Okay, basic force makes me feel like it is Shardless. Double Deathrite is kind of bad because that means they just get to eat Deathrite. Get to eat tokens all day long, but could be worse. So we get to connect for 10 here. They might have decay, which makes it so we only connect for 9. Which means next turn we connect for 7. So I mean they could wait. They could actually race us that way. Yeah, they're gonna decay. So let's see. We connect for 9. Dumb them down to 11. Now we have 9. Let's say they deploy a creature like a Goyf. Then we connect for 6 down to 5. Then we connect for 3 down to... So yeah, that's not actually good enough, but we'll see. We also have this Brainstorm. And they suspend division. Okay, well that's not so scary. And no third creature. That's crucial. So I think we save this Brainstorm and this land in hand and just... They might have a second decay, which is like, yeah, whatever. So they're at 4 now, and they need to both remove one of these guys and get another creature down, or they're dead, because we're looking at connecting with 4 next turn. So it looks like we're going to eke it through, unless they draw like into a Maelstrom Pulse. They don't, and they concede. Okay, cool. So against Shardless, how do we want to play this? I think that's one of the annoying things about the Shardless matchup is I don't think we have any sort of just like home run sideboard card options against them. You might say Sensei's Top, and I would be inclined to agree with you, but it's not, I don't think it's like a haymaker. We can't really attack them that profitably on the Xantid Swarm, City of Solitude, Defense Grid axis because they don't interact with counterspells that much. We get discarded a lot, so top is good, but they still also have the counterspells. Some Shardless Bug lists used to run like the White Splash for Meddling Mage, so we have to at least consider that. I think we could board out the MT plan because they've seen it and they have plenty of answers like board sweeping effects, especially post sideboard. They don't necessarily have an incredible clock, so I don't mind bringing the Ad Nauseam. Probably one top. I think I also don't mind removing a single Past in Flames as they are a Deathrite Shaman deck, and we're bringing in Ad Nauseam to sort of kind of mitigate winning through the graveyard. I really don't know if we want the Dazes, but I think I'm going to keep them in just to test. Do we want removal? I honestly actually do not think we do. I think Daze kind of has to cover our basis for removal here in terms of like if they do have some Hate Bear or like Arcane Laboratory or whatever. So I think actually the second top comes in. How do we like this setup here? I think honestly it's fine. Maybe a bit light on business, but the 2 tops should go some way to make up for that. Maybe we want a second Tendrils just to have a clear shot at the natural Tendrils plan, but them being a discard deck, probably not. But let's try this way. I mean, like I'm saying they're on Shardless. They could also be on Aluren. I've faced that quite a few times playing some other decks recently, and that would be a deck that had basic Forest, Underground Sea, and what's his face, Deathrite. But no, hang on, they had no, actually Aluren has Shardless Agent too, so they could have Ancestral Vision. Well, we keep this. If we get Thoughtseize and they take our Brainstorm, then it becomes somewhat more mediocre, this hand, but I'm not hating it. Get dressed, well, yeah, same difference. The question is, do we fire off our probe on turn 1? I suppose it depends on what we draw. Is the obvious answer. Ponder. Yeah, I think I like probing here. Informs our decision on the ponder. Let's see. Okay, they have force. Oops. Force him. That's a pretty strong hand. They have vision. They have delta. They have wasteland. Like, if the wasteland wasn't just another land, this hand would be a lot less powerful. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So our hand cannot beat cannot play around wasteland, I should say. The thing is, if we play out a land, we kind of play into the wasteland. They have to make the choice on whether or not to him us or wasteland us. I think 90% certain they will him us first and then wasteland us, which I think is the correct play. Or we just fetch a basic island and ponder. This means, like, if the him hits one of our lands, then the second Underground Sea is just going to be, like, wasteland fodder. But I think having the basic island as our sort of base is where we want to be. Man, Daze would actually not be the end of the world here, right, wouldn't it? Daze would actually be pretty great. So there is, I don't think, well, actually, I was going to say, I don't think there's a world where they can justify forcing this. I don't think there is, but they know our hand, because they know we drew the fetch land and the ponder. Those were the two cards they didn't know about. So, like, they know if they force this and then him us. So I think these are good enough to keep, but not good enough to really feel good about them. That makes sense. I think we're going to put them tutor, ponder, Badlands, and then draw the Badlands and hope Badlands gets himmed out of our hand. Or like at least hope that one of our lands get hit and not both rituals. Or yeah, both rituals would just actually be the worst that could happen. So there's the him. So let's see. Okay, we lose a ritual and a land, so could be worse. So now their hand is Force, Vision, Wasteland, blank. I think we need to play out the Underground Sea regardless. And I think we want to ponder this turn. I know that might seem weird because, yeah. That's just what we didn't want. So they have not suspended vision. The thing is, I mean, we can justify keeping all of these because they're all good cards. We need lands, we're getting wastelanded, but we just can't beat that Force of Will right now. We need a discard spell. If we send these away, that's really tough, right? Because we need the tutor for sure. We don't need the LED, we don't need the land. So I think I'm actually going to shuffle this. Man, if I just been patient and waited another turn with the ponder, I would have drawn the tutor, pondered, and then I could have shuffled. But c'est la vie. Now, Brainstorm's not a bad card. I hear it's actually a pretty good Magic card. There's the Wasteland. Wasteland is likely going to... yep, Wasteland's going to take our Underground Sea. Do they have... If they had, like, top-decked another him, that's brutal. Deathrush Shaman's not bad either. Stupid Tropical Island. Well, this is both good and bad, right? Like, we can't afford to get the tendrils discarded and then eaten by Deathrite because it's our only win condition. So ideally that doesn't happen. I think what we do is we put back tendrils, Badlands, then we play the Tropical Island. This way, if they were to draw into a him right now, neither the Badlands or the tendrils can get hit. But we're kind of struggling here because they are on such a high life total. I think we're just gonna go draw go for a little bit. Yeah, I don't like our position here. I feel like we are not looking pretty to win this match. Oh, sorry, not the match, but this game. We need them to lose some life here, so the fetch land helps. What they have for us? Shardless Agent. 4 mana. Liliana. Oh, sorry, Jace. Black. Liliana. That's ballsy, right? They don't have, like, okay, yeah, so they don't plus her. They're just waiting. Huh. Alright, well, I mean, I guess to complete that game. What do we discard, though? To her, I mean. Sadly, I think it'll have to be the Petal, not the Badlands, because that's sad because Petal makes Storm. But if we discard Badlands and we then have to go Petal Ritual into Therapy, they're just gonna force the Petal. Sorry, the Ritual. I mean through the Petal. Let's see if they're up to snuff here and they take the tendrils. If they do, we're not going to concede right away. We're just going to play on because we don't want to give that away. But I don't think we're beating this. Although this means, I mean, this is basically just, they're still not taking, like, they're not taking up Liliana because they still have Force Blue card. They know, they lost to MC the Warrens last turn, so, I mean, it's not a bad play on their part to not take the tendrils and exile it with Deathrite. They can't know that we're not, that we still don't have like tendrils in the deck. Sorry, the MT in the deck. All right. Okay, so I guess they're just going for it. Cool. I think we sack or discard the therapy then, right? They can't hardcast the force. If this is the route they're taking. Yeah. So what, suspend vision? Wow, I'm kind of surprised by that, to be honest. Come on, let's draw Brainstorm and win the game. Well, I mean, that's a bit much, I suppose. Well, let's pass. And they dome us down to 11. The next turn, they can double dome us down to 7. Yeah, we're in a kind of rough spot, but we're not out of it. So let's just yield here. Discard spells are what we're really worried about here. Yeah, oh, brutal, brutal. That was, if the game wasn't over, it's over now. I think let's just concede. We're not winning this. Okay, well, I don't really think anything changes here. There's a world where Flusterstorm could make an entrance to sort of hedge against discard spells, but I I don't think so. I think we just need to draw like a bit stronger and be on the play, which like at least one of those things is going to happen. And I actually really am intrigued by Daze in this matchup, especially on the play. So I kind of hope to draw that. And Sensei Stop. We want those cards. Man, it feels good to be casting some dark magic. It also feels fitting, like it's autumn here where I live. So summertime is over. Okay, we want to be on the play for sure. Well, this is a sort of meh, could go either way kind of hand, I think. But I think we have to keep it. I don't think we can really like actively throw this away. They mulligan to 6, which I am happy about. But they keep the 6, scry to the bottom. Okay, well, let's... If we lead off with Tropical and they waste it, maybe we're not that sad. And if they don't waste it, we have it for Brainstorm and then can fetch. Because, like, there's a real chance that we get Thoughtseize on turn 1 or Duress, and I kind of want to be able to Brainstorm, but then not having the fetch land kind of sucks. So I'm okay with this. Okay, Deathrite. So there's a spicy world where we Brainstorm here and find Daze, but I don't think that's what we're going to do. We could Brainstorm end of turn, but I also am kind of okay not doing that. Actually, let's not do anything here. Not give them a land in the yard for the Deathrite. Well, they had it anyways, so it doesn't matter. So they want a 3-drop here, so Liliana, I guess? Or what? No, Shardless Agent. Okay. They find Brainstorm. So I think that's... I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's not the most insane play. So I think the time is now, right? So I'm going to Brainstorm here at end of turn and really just hope that I'm rewarded. But I'm not. Or wait, actually, hang on. Let's see, we have 2 lands, becomes 3 lands, becomes 4 with the pedal, 5 with the ritual, 6 with ritual. 6 is enough to both therapy for force and ad nauseum, so that's okay. So let's put back these 2 lands. Let's untap. And fetch on upkeep. Let's get out the bad lands. The baddest of lands. So the ritual lets us, the probe lets us know if we actually even need to worry about therapy. I'm pretty sure they have force, so they wouldn't have tapped out and tapped down their Deathrite. It also brings us closer to threshold, so the 2 life is agreeable, if not fantastic here. Yeah, alright, so let's see here, just in case they have Baleful Strix, they have Force, they have Brainstorm, they have Waste, they have Duress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Wow. So can we get to threshold here? We have 3 cards in the yard. Petal is 4. Therapy is 5. Cabal Ritual is 6. But wait, we'll get to both Brainstorm and Therapy, right? We have 4 mana, and then we okay, yeah, so that should be fine. Let's start off like this. So let's name Force of Will. All right. And I think we can Brainstorm here. Brainstorm is 5 cards in the yard. Petal is 6. The first ritual will be 7, and then the second ritual will be we'll have threshold, so we'll have 6 mana in the pool, and then we will have 1 floating at least, depending on what this brainstorm shows us. Yeah, good times. Let's put back the land and the diamond to not take the damage off, like the 1 damage. Because I don't think we want to be sacking the diamond when we have 1 black floating, actually. If you take my meaning. So let's just hope to hit a dark ritual. Well, there's Infernal Through. Now we just need to hit a dark ritual or a Lotus Petal and a Cabal ritual. Sensei's Top, Ponder, Land, another Tutor, Therapy. Not great, this is. There's the dark ritual. Storm is 7, Storm is 8, Storm is LED 9. So yeah, we have it here. Nope. Storm is 8. Storm is 9. Cast Infernal Tutor, sack for black. Get the tendrils. Yippee-ki-yay! Mother burp. Great! Well, 2 matches. We have yet to draw a Daze. So that's a bit disappointing, but 2-0 is not disappointing. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching. And yeah, I'll be back with the next round of this league. Bye-bye.